Next up, we have Skill by the Jam Project official channel, featured in the Super Robot Wars Alpha 2 soundtrack. Once again, everybody, this is Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here is to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what is happening here, musically. So, if you like the sound of that, make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever button you use, like the video, share, comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, everybody, don't forget to join the Discord server, join the Patreon, subscribe to the Gaming channel, subscribe to the Reacts channel, how to request songs if you're not a live stream members, getting early access to the content, I have a spiel for this, and a bunch of other things later down the stream, so stick around for that. Disclaimers showing on your screen right now, so go ahead and pause the video to read them in full. Otherwise, please be patient with me. I am acoustic and guitared, and I was about to burp the entire time and ended up messing up the spiel, so please keep that in mind. With that, let's do this. Skill, let's go. Okay, so we start with a few elements. Number one, we have the piano there, the most forefront instrument over here, giving us this very, very beautiful melody that is done in what is called parallel octaves. Octaves is the same note repeated up or down throughout the instrument. So for example, here we have C, C again, C again, C again. Parallel octaves means that you're doing the melody in the same octaves. Very, very effective in the piano, especially higher up in the register, right? For example, one of the most iconic melodies in gaming history when it comes to the piano. And it's, you know, in parallel octaves. This melody, of course, giving us our initial motif. Motif being the smallest version of a musical idea, the seed, the essence from which everything else comes from. Behind that, we are having some violins, it sounds like, some strings, or at least a synth of them, just holding down the chords, giving us the different chords that we're going through. We have a snare drum as the percussion, giving us a bit of a beat going on over there. Let's see where this goes. Nice gong there. French horn stakes. Okay, so we bring in a French horn to take over the second part. So there's a moment in the piano that it stops playing, which sets up the space for a call and response. Call and response is a musical conversation. We are having the melody in the piano doing the call, and once that is over, we had something else then as a response. First, it was just the rest of the background giving us the response. Then we brought in a French horn melody giving us the response. And now we brought in like a bunch of dudes singing. A bunch of dudes singing the melody, doing what is called a doubling. Doubling is when you have more than one instrument doing the same thing at the same time. In this case, the French horn brought us that response melody, and then we brought the dudes singing along with that. Now, this brings us into the possibility of entering the realm of song, right? Song is... We call everything a song because it's easier, but there is a categorical distinction between songs and instrumental music, right? Songs are sung, duh. But what does this actually mean? Songs will have vocals, will have lyrics, and these vocals and lyrics will be the driving force of a substantial part of the music. Instrumental music, you can also call them pieces or tracks, right? And the main idea is that songs will have these vocals being the main providers of like a motif and the melodies all together, usually melodic, right? So we're doing that. If we are in a song format, this could be our intro, and this intro could be maybe our chorus. Let me hear a bit more, and then I'll break this down a bit more. Flute jumping in to double with this. Okay, that was awesome. So, we switch over to the next part. So, could be like a red herring kind of thing that we did this whole thing at the start and now we're bringing in the actual song. Big risk, but it sounds pretty old school. Yeah, it's like very power metal kind of thing. Does it have the original 2003, right? Like this is 23 years old. What a transition, and we switch over to some heavy metal. This is like as heavy metal as it gets. Like, we are talking, this style is the style of Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden is considered one of the greatest heavy metal bands of all time. And this is almost one-to-one the kind of music that they would make. Like, we are talking this kind of introduction you would see in their Fear of the Dark album. Like something like this kind of, we're starting with these initial melodies. We have the drums giving us the new drum beat. The guitars, we're having one of them giving us melody. I think we have two of them giving us a melody and one of them holding chords in the back, which, again, Iron Maiden had the whole unusual thing, because heavy metal bands at the time, it was one guitar that was the rhythm guitar, the guitar playing the chords, one guitar playing melody, and then bass, then drums, and then vocalist. Iron Maiden had three guitarists because it was cool. So yeah, no, right now we are following something like that. So we are going along the lines of that. So this whole thing was an intro, and we are gonna have to see where this goes. We are having the melody over here. I think the melody is the same motif as what the piano got, except it is a reduction. Reduction in melody is when you do a faster version of something you've done before, right? For guitar, this is even cooler than 5. I once thought of that, and I ended up making a piece. It was my first long form piece. It is 7 guitars and a drum kit, and that's it. It's on my SoundCloud. SoundCloud.com/James R. Basterd. It should be there. It should still be there. It's the Black Forest. That's what I call it. I made it when I made it my first year of Berkeley. Here it is. Here it is, 14 minutes long, and it's 7 guitars and a thing. Beardless James, that was just the goatee. Yeah. This is me at the end of college. Yeah, no, it's from 12 years ago. Yeah, so it's 2014. Yeah, 2014, 2013. And yeah, it's just 7 guitars, a drum kit, a couple of audio samples, and it was just me messing around with some musical ideas. Yeah. Like, it was just to see what would happen. Anyway, so we're bringing something like that. We're having the vocalist singing the melodies. We have 2 layers of vocals giving us some parallel motion over there. So yeah, let's see where it goes. There we go. Okay, so we bring in the first verse. So when it turns out it is a song, right? When it comes to song, we have 2 main building blocks, verse and chorus. Verse is going to be your floor level of intensity. It's going to establish a JoJo-style vocals. I mean, it's the Jam project, so chances are yes. Floor level of intensity, you're going to hold back on your melodies a little bit. You're going to hold back on a bunch of stuff. And basically you're going to establish a foundation of everything, and then your core is going to be your ceiling, the bombastic moments. And what Jam Project is a band that they've done a bunch of soundtracks for a bunch of stuff. And then core is going to be your ceiling level of intensity. You're going to unleash everything. And then everything else is built around these 2. As you can hear right now, the drums went, the drums are a lot more calm. We brought back like a flute sample. Of course, because it's the Japanese, we have some very elaborate melodies, but we are having some melodies, some relatively less exaggerated melodies than what we had before. And yeah, we had a very, very long introduction because it was a 2-part introduction. The red herring and then the introduction. So yeah, let's see where it goes. There you go, second part of the verse. We bring the guitars. Okay, so over here, very, very simple, straightforward. We are having the main vocalist driving the you can see that the vocals are driving the music over here. We're having the guitars in the background. They are playing the chords, and we're having one more synth giving us some extra melodies here and there. Drums and bass giving us the the beat, basically. Let's see where this goes. Pre-chorus. So, we switch over to what is now called our first pre-chorus. If the verse is your floor, if the chorus is your ceiling, the pre-chorus is going to be a connective tissue between the two. Call it a wall, call it a ladder, stairs, whatever it is. The idea is that it smoothens the transition between the two. We escalated things a little bit. The drums are almost back to what they were in the intro melody that we had with that really, really fun drum beat. We brought in the female voice over here, giving us that second layer of vocals, and the guitars are a little bit more active, but we're not quite there yet. Let's see where this goes. We should have the chorus after this. I think the second half of the pre-chorus, and there you go. Chorus. Call and response based. Okay, so some of the things to take from this part. Number one, you can hear the chorus. We have a call and response based chorus. We have the initial phrase, and then we do something else. And another thing we are doing a lot is we are employing a lot of syncopation. Syncopation being when you play against your drums, against your beat, or against your metronome. So there are a couple of moments, especially in the drums, right? Where you're not going straight in the clicks that you would get, but you would that kind of thing, right? So that syncopation, that playing against the beat, it gives you a bit of extra sense of motion. We do that sometimes with the drums, we do that sometimes with the guitar, we do that sometimes with the vocals, and that just creates that extra sense of motion that we are getting. Let's see where this goes. There's the intro melody, part of the chorus. Violins in the back and everything. This is very, very heavy metal. And yes, right now we bring in the oohs and ahs, which are fairly rare nowadays, where you would just bring a melody like this. This is the kind of stuff that the bands would write to just make sure that the stadium would sing along to them. So how am I watching myself? I mean, I have a monitor. Like, I have a monitor with the stream running in case something goes wrong. Like, I have it here for the stream health. So in case something happens, I have an alert here that tells me, hey, the stream, like, something is happening. It's just to make sure that the stream is running. Anyway, so we're having these beautiful melodies happening in the second half of the chorus, which coincidentally was the second half of the intro that we have, with the first half of the intro being that red herring that we got that introduced the motif nonetheless. It's the same melody, just we used a different motif at the back over there, right? So we're having a really, really cool, like, this is, I tell you, this is the kind of stuff that, like, Iron Maiden would do. Like, go listen to Iron Maiden's, any of their stuff before, like, 2005, and something like a solid third of their music would have something like that. Something like this. The first example that I can think of is The Trooper. The Trooper by Iron Maiden. It had this kind of melody. Whoa, whoa. They would have that as just part of the chorus. And it's a very, very, very fun piece. So it looks like Jam Project took some of the ideas of this kind of style and applied it over here to this song to make it just as fun. And you know what else is just as fun? the Patreon. Patreon.com/JamesRBasterd. If you want to support this channel more than you already are, consider joining the Patreon today. Even if you're not pledging any funds, do join the free tier at least, because this is where the non-gaming LFAs are going. What are those? Anime, film, TV, label, music, the kind of stuff that we usually don't do on the main channel on YouTube. Why? What we do on YouTube is inherently fair use. That does not stop bad actors such as record labels, film studios, individual independent rats, scammers out there from abusing the copyright system on YouTube. So, in order to just not deal with that for these LFAs, we're putting them here exclusively on Patreon, with paid members, citizen tier and above, getting early access to the content. So, if you want to support this channel more than you already are, consider joining the Patreon today. Consider becoming a paid member today. You will get access to the exclusive content either way. Patreon.com/JamesRBasterd. Thank you to those who are already members, especially those who are paid members, particularly Real Nemesis, French Guy, and Amayer. Your support means the world to me. For everybody else, become a member today. Consider becoming a paid member today. Patreon.com/JamesRBasterd. Linked in the description down below. Patreon.com/JamesRBasterd. Become a member today. Look, as I tell you, I do the segues. I just see the chance and I take it, okay? Like, let's get judged by the only person that matters. Let's pan over to our Don Quixote camera, all right? Yeah, she's just cozy with her snacks right now, with her smack over there. So yeah, there you go. Well said as usual. There you go. Anyway, let's continue. Straight into verse 2. Syncopated drums there. Bringing the drums back in. Second half, the second verse. Piano and violins in the background joining the guitars. And pre-chorus. Chorus 2. Structurally the same thing we did before. Ooh, taking a more... little bit of a break there, so we add a little bit more. So when it comes to pre-choruses, you heard that it wasn't the exact same thing as the first pre-chorus. In this case, we added some extra breaks, we added a couple of extra things, and we just made it a lot of fun. Verses and chorus, you want to keep more or less the same structure, but this gives you the freedom for the stuff around them to be a little bit different, because as long as it builds up to the same thing, as long as the purpose is the same, it doesn't matter if you reach the second floor via a ladder or via the stairs, or if you climb the wall. What matters is that you get to the second floor or to the ceiling. So that's what we do over here. We go to the second chorus in a way more fun manner. We keep things fresh while still using what we did before. Really good way of developing the material. Let's see where it goes. Well, in response, I like her voice. There's the call. So that's the call. Response. Building up some syncopation there, and we switch things around. Okay. Okay, so we then take it over to our first instrumental break. So the break can have many functions. Number one, we are bringing back the piano with the orchestral elements, just taking a break from the vocals. Number two, this can serve as a bit of a palette cleanser. You can use this to lead over to the bridge, you can use this to lead over back to a verse or to the pre-chorus or the chorus, or you can bring a solo in. A break is going to be a very flexible section that you can use, because it basically is just an intersection that you add where you can basically choose where you take the music to. Let's see where it goes. Piano and violin doubling the melody, developing the melody. Nice. And we'll go to a solo section. Guitar solo. And straight to the pre-chorus. Pre-chorus 3. That's so good. Let's see, what else? The second bar of the pre-chorus we did last time, as was in the second one. Repeating that a bit more. And you can tell this is the kind of crowd work, constructed stuff. Because you do this, imagine doing this in a concert, where you create this call and response, where the vocalist says whatever the hell, and you in the crowd have to respond with, "Hey!" Can you imagine how much fun that is? This is the kind of call and response that makes stuff like heavy metal so much fun. Because you get these moments of, hey, 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 moments so incredible. So incredible. Queen concerts had some of that, but Queen was so much more about just experiencing Freddie Mercury. Like with Queen, it was a very different kind of incredible experience. Queen was all about you go watch Brian May and Freddie Mercury, and you're just in awe that these two human beings existed in the same timeline. Rammstein has a lot of good crowd work too. Slipknot has a lot of good crowd work too. So yeah. Like getting hey back at the screen kind of stuff, yeah. No, so this is the kind of stuff that you use this in a System of a Down. System of a Down is more like nu metal, so that one is more on the challenging the conventions kind of thing. They have some songs that were like that, but most of their stuff was basically just challenging motions. Rage Against the Machine has a lot of moments like that. Like there's a lot of bands that have this. Dragon Force has a lot of these. Iron Maiden, a lot of these. Metallica, a lot of these. Like there are a bunch of bands that would have this, and the entire idea, especially of something like this one, is that you start incorporating the audience into the call and response. You are planning ahead so that this is played live, and that you make this a more fun experience for your audience. Now, one of two things can happen from here. One, we can go straight to the next chorus, or we can go to our bridge. The bridge would be a complete contrast from everything, so it would be like basically taking down the intensity of everything, so that then we can bring that intensity back up to the chorus. We will see. Maiden, welcome to the head one. Let's see where this goes. We incorporate a guitar solo. So we extend the pre-chorus with a pre-chorus solo. So when you're making music, you want to keep a careful balance between what is familiar and what is new. Too much familiarity, too much repetition, too much of the same thing, you risk boring the listener, they tune out. Too much new material too quickly, you risk overwhelming the listener, they tune out. There is one universal exception, no matter the style or genre, which is solos. Heavy metal and metal in general has an additional one, which is breakdowns, but in general, you put in a solo, you bring in a breakdown, as long as it sounds cool enough and it fits enough, you can get away with almost anything. Meaning the principle of familiarity and new material become more relaxed. Just means that you're not going to be able to get away with everything, you will be able to get away with quite a bit, such as bringing a guitar solo in the middle of your break and in the middle of your pre-chorus, and it's still sounding cool. Let's see where this goes. Extending that pre-chorus. More breaks. And a chorus. There we go. Chorus 3, the pre-chorus. Nice. Sounds like a falling keyboard a little bit, yeah. Joking. Oh, so good. We still have another minute of music, but this chorus is long enough. And so we then do two things. Number one, we bring another guitar solo. Since we didn't have a dedicated solo section, because our first break, turns out their first break had a guitar solo in it, we now take the second half of the chorus, we do what is called a direct modulation. Modulation is when you go from one scale, one key signature, or one collection of chords to a different one. For example, if we were in the key of C major, all white keys in the keyboard, starting and ending on C, that gives us the collection. of notes over here. If we were to want to switch to another key signature, we would need to engage in modulation. There are many kinds of modulation, and the one we just did is direct modulation. Usually the idea of modulation is that you want to smoothen the transition between the two key signatures. Direct modulation means we were in C major. Yay! Very nice. C major, yay! Now direct modulation. Straight into the next key signature. It steps everything up, it builds up everything, and now we are having the following one, which is chorus 3 part 2 with a solo. And we just add that extra solo for this with the song version, the song part of the solo of the chorus. Break. And we bring the outro. Intro's outro. We continue the intro that we made. Oh my god. Oh, ritardando. Cadence. Resolving that chord, landing everything. And we sing it one more time. So we bring back the red herring. We finish what we started. We started with this, and we end with this, with one last ritardando in the outro. Ritardando, yes, this is the name of the concept, is when you gradually slow down the music. As we heard there in the outro, and with that, there you have... That was a lot of fun. Like, this makes me want to just take one of the older albums of Iron Maiden that I would listen to and just listen to it. There you have it. That was Skill by the Jam Project, featured in the Super Robot Wars Alpha 2 soundtrack. That was so much fun, dude. Like, there's something about this kind of heavy metal that is just so much fun, dude. Oh my god, there you go. Once again, everybody, this has been a Basterd LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician and composer, and my objective here has been to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what's happened here, musically. So, if you're watching this on the YouTube video archive thing, thank you for watching. Make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever you're going to use. Like the video, share, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member. What is the difference between heavy metal and death metal? Heavy metal is what we just heard over here. Death metal will have a lot more growling. It's considerably more aggressive. Basically, if you want a good heavy metal band that is just pure on heavy metal, Iron Maiden. That would be a good example. Death metal, there's a lot of subgenres of death metal. I think one of the first ones was death. Death falls a little bit more on the technical death metal side, but I think death, yeah, the band Death is a good example of death metal. It falls, as I said, a bit more on the technical side, but it is a good example of it. So if you listen to Iron Maiden, then you listen to Death, you will hear quite a few differences. So yeah, there you have it. Once again, everybody, don't forget to join the Discord server. That's where everything gets announced first, whether the stream's going live, the videos going up the channels, updates, projects, giveaways, everything is announced there first. We have the community there, we hang out, we chat, we steal memes from other people's servers, claim them as our own, where I host the Vintage Story. Community server, that kind of stuff. Also, share these videos with everybody that you know. Use the hype function on YouTube. We have a group on the Discord. Coordinates for that, so linked in the description. Help the channel grow. Members get early access to the content, a schedule. The videos probably on Saturdays. And if you're a paid member on YouTube, regardless of your tier, you get access to the videos when I schedule them, at least for the LFAs. So become a member today. If you want to listen to this without interrupting it 3.5 seconds, I'll be linking in the description down below. If you want to request a song and you're not on the live stream, check the comment on this video. It has instructions what to do. If you want to catch the streams when they happen live, we aim from Monday through Friday. We stream live on Twitch, YouTube, and Kick, so that you can tune in from whichever platform you prefer. Yes. Tune in from whichever platform you prefer. We have the full up-to-date streaming schedule showing in your local times in both Discord and Twitch. I made the mistake of reading the chat. So, if you live in Villa Alegre, Happy Village, and you're like, yeah, but what time is whatever time it is in Hungary? I don't live there. Do not worry. Just go to Discord or Twitch, both linked in the description, and it's going to show the streaming schedule up-to-date in your local time zone, accounting for daylight savings if necessary. And subscribe to the gaming channel for the gaming channel, because of course I have a gaming channel. I'm on YouTube. What else could I possibly have? Games are Basterd. It's where I put the gaming after show recordings when they happen. We play games on the later part of the stream, and and then the VODs for every game we play live eventually end up over here. So subscribe to the channel, linked in the description, or search on YouTube, same username as James R. Basterd, sub the J for a G, and you got it. And subscribe to the Reacts channel. The LFA is our React format. This is where we are putting the Reacts for everything else. James Reacts Basterd. Subscribe to the channel, linked in the description, or search on YouTube, same username as James R. Basterd, extend the R to Reacts, and you got it. And, yeah. There you have it. Skill Jam Project Super Robot Wars Alpha 2. That was really fun, dude. Like, again, that made me want to listen to Iron Maiden. Really good stuff, man. Really good stuff. Yeah, let's move on.